a little more on SEO part two. Okay, Alimat has already created a part one video for this, and then this is basically going to go cover other aspects. And then you may want to know why you should watch this video. First and foremost, okay, we are setting a proper standard for the kind of article that we're publishing on Insight.ng. So it is important that you have the basic knowledge of what we are looking forward to avoid excessive revision, complying with your editors. So, and I also, the knowledge here is not actually exclusive to Insight.ng. It is actually what define a good blog post, article, content, call it anything. In fact, SEO, no SEO. If you are familiar with magazine, like if you read magazine, like it's still almost kind of same style. The only thing is like this time around, we often format it because we know that readers are going to read the content on their mobile phone, and the mobile phone screen is kind of short, small, and since it's small, you have to scroll through, and then you get bored fast, and you may get distracted that your WhatsApp message can pop up. Other than that, the same rules guide all kind of content writing. So, and also, it's challenges to be a better writer, and I think that's the point. Like that's the whole point. Me as an individual, I still constantly work on my writing with a couple of things. It is something that it's never end. And also, yeah, it will help you to make use of your keyword more quite easier than more. And I must add this. New writer that are coming on board, we also have to watch this video. So it's more like we just claim through the same stone. Creating these videos are not easy. So what we'll be talking about will be related to your writing approach and style, sentence length and paragraph, addressing the real problem, communicating your message, completing your sentences, comprehensiveness, making your readers understand your choices of words, your keyword usage, and you actually being sincere with yourself. You want your article to rank. But then I'm going to start with this particular article. It is on HubSpot. For those who don't know HubSpot is a kind of content marketing. It's actually CRM, but then this is their content marketing, so it's their blog. So I know we always shout SEO to you guys, but trust me, you guys are doing the list of SEO, right? The list of SEO. Okay, there's still on-page SEO, there's off-page SEO, there's technical SEO, and there is the one you are doing is on-page SEO, but it's actually just restricted to your content writing itself. This aspect also, domain and subdirectory is kind of more technical SEO. But yeah, that was not my point. My viewpoint is this. Someone is getting an article on technical SEO on sports. It's basically writing on subdomain versus subdirectory, what they are, how they affect your SEO, and pay attention to this introduction. Look at the introduction, okay? One of the most heated arguments that I've been a part of was about whether or not Taylor Swift is a good dancer. The first thing you should know about me is that Taylor Swift is my favorite artist. So you have a hard time convincing that she's bad at anything, because she isn't. SEO experts are probably the same way when debating whether a subdomain or subdirectory are better for SEO. As a marketer, that debate can cause confusion, analysis paralysis. Analysis paralysis. In this article, you will learn the differences between a subdomain and subdirectory and how they affect your SEO. There are pros and cons to both, and you will want to consider all these factors before moving forward with your website project. Now, the introduction itself is straight. I don't know, there's actually a lady that will know Taylor Swift, and anybody that listens to music will most likely know Taylor Swift. So, but then, see how she managed to connect the two. This is someone being deliberate. Now, when we constantly make the noise, you guys will feel like, guys, you don't understand. Go. Yeah, this is what we want. I'm not saying that this is all your introduction to be writing about Taylor Swift or musicians. But in a real sense, you should actually take a different approach when you write a blog post. When you search for something on Google basically, or typically kind of want to generate a kind of new results to their readers. And this is kind of going to be challenging because we have had a couple of sessions with the editors to, in order to make sure you guys are on the same field. When you are searching for content, like it is very interesting that we'll be having duplicate content on the blog. And the person that is creating duplicate content is using article already published on inside.ng as a source of his user information. Basically, rewriting article already published on the blog for the blog. How far, guys? Imagine what that means. Like so when you guys are researching your contents, you will come across an article that has already been covered on inside.ng, and you still go ahead to recreate the article because I know the article must definitely be on Google. Now that one is not the only problem. The other thing here is this. I'm going to search for something here, and that will be this is also write a sales copy, and this is my keyword research. Okay, and kinda it is something trendy in the data marketing niche or in the sales industry, like sales copy. Kinda it is popular. Now, somebody has already written on this. The article has published on HubSpot. This particular blog is a lot popular if you are into content marketing. And when Crazy Egg wanted to create their own, see the way they change the headline, how to write killer sales copy and see if it is working. Now, the following one, right, put out to write a persuasive sales copy. Now, when Neil Patel will create his own content, he will write the whole headline like how to write seductive sales copy like Apple. Now, Plus wanted to write something similar. They said how to create a powerful sales copy, a step-by-step guide. 18 tips for writing sales copy that actually sells. That's the one from Tick and so forth. Now, the point here is Google is not going to generate an article that all of you are talking about how to write a sales copy. Google will want to get some kind of balance, like is anybody taking a different approach? Because what Google feel like this should already represent a particular kind of research if you are just looking for how to write sales copy. Why this one that's talking to you that how you can write something like the one of Apple? Why don't I speak about the step-by-step guide? This is not much of your work because your editors generate a topic for you. But then it actually goes beyond that because when it comes to when you are writing, like I personally mostly when I want to write and doing my research, I realize that everybody is taking a particular approach and I really want to rank for it, I will take a different approach. And there's no way I will not rank. Okay, I will change the approach that to include my headline and my content. There's not a particular fixed way where you can write. Platforms have their, what we call it, the editorial guideline. But then there's a way that you can find your way around it. What are top business.net here and why should you care? Dear fellow Nigerian entrepreneur, we all know how lonely and frustrating the business journey can be, starting from wherever. Now, there's nothing really spectacular in this article, okay, other than it's actually written like a real letter, like the way you write a proper letter, a proper, sorry, letter to an entrepreneur. That is the approach. The idea is to actually really create something different. I can say the same thing for now, this is a very trendy topic as I went on to create a topic. Many of the blogs, they are old blog. I needed to change the approach by saying that this Upwork tutorial, how to make money on Upwork. Now, these ones are more connected to your editor. So I'm going to go to the one that really concern you. When you are writing, you don't have to kind of follow the straight path that everybody follows when they're writing a piece. Like you basically do your Google search and then you do copy and paste. That is not proper writing. And if you ever have to send your piece to somebody to review, more like your byline to apply for a job, you even do yourself more harms by even submitting the content itself than if you did not submit it. So you have to be communicative. This has already been addressed. Okay, so I just wanted to make emphasis, and this is the one I think this is the best example I can give you. The one or the headline is if you actually really care about your content, like if you care. Okay, well, we created Instead of NG, like we are being deliberate about not even having what we call it, adverts popping up affecting your content because we feel like what we want you to use it for, or what we feel like you may want to use it for. So we are putting the extra energy to make sure that this thing can be effective for you. So we are expecting you to actually make best use of it, or rather we look for people that really need the platform to be able to use it for that kind of a purpose. This is actually something that I will not encourage. As to be a do follow back link on Wikipedia. I came across this post, I think maybe something last year, I don't know. And the author is very stupid anyway, but this is what we do. After I click on it, apology for the slight misleading headline on do follow links. You won't find it something like that in this article. But what you find is a means for accumulating passive recurring authoritative link by content to content by leveraging the popular search and search prominence of Wikipedia, which I assume probably sounds pretty good too. See, if I'm the one that you're applying for a job, like you're applying for a job, and I see this kind of intro, even though I would not recommend this kind of approach. I will give you the job. That is how real writers work. Okay, that's how real writers write article. Real writers don't just write you write like somebody who really have the knowledge of that subject matter. Now, sentence length and sentence paragraph. I'm not going to search for something. I'm basically going to do Google search and then we decide, like you see what. Sentence should not be longer than 25 words, and ideal length is around 14 words. See, we did not make up these rules. Okay, it is kind of standard. Including your paragraphs, like nobody sets these particular rules. Okay, we don't set it. When your sentences are more than 14 words, one will not be able to read it at a length, and one will not be able to digest it. So that one is important. Now, when I talk about addressing the problem, like communicating your message, completing your sentence, what make a complete sentence to me is when I pass my message and I put a full stop and I start on that message. Like that is how I write. Each of my sentence often pass the right message. I don't know how I'm going to practicalize this. I can the best piece I can use as an example, let me see if I can see one. How you guys don't end up searching. I don't like to be searched. Is something like this. Like I can probably use other article, or maybe I use this. This should be easier. Like a kind of a proper sentence to me is something that each of your sentence is passing the message, starting from getting a unique business idea to executing it. And from there, you begin to encounter various entrepreneurship challenges like the country's stable economy, government policies, and the like, profit and loss management, and upkeep management of staff. The entrepreneurship journey can truthfully be depressing at times. That is my own kind of proper sentence. I don't know if there's another state standard, but you actually need to be completing your sentences. Many of you don't. By completing your sentences, include your examples. Okay, like, yeah, it includes your example. I think that's what I actually wanted to pick out here. This sentence is longer than the usual sentences, but I want to cover my key message. Now, if there's a sentence in your article that's not communicating a message, it's not actually trying to be engaging, like different that's like I think using Taylor Swift, which is still communicating a message, then it is kind of useless. So ensure you complete your sentences. Many of you don't. However, quite unfortunately for us, many business bloggers have taken it upon themselves to be excellent companion, full stop, providing us with a roadmap, to success on an education journey and making the important life, whatever. But the point is, like, you should actually really complete your sentence. Like, you should complete your sentence. Like, are you passing the message with each sentence that you are writing? Like, I don't know how we explain for that. Now, when we talk about addressing the problem, after you are done with your piece, can one say that this is the problem? Like, can one say I'm fulfilled that I read this piece? This is my best recommendation. I'm just trying to use, I'm not familiar, I don't really read articles on insights. I read, but cannot memorize all of them, you get. But then, like, now this is basically the entire message here. At a point, you may ask yourself which of these cloud computing software you should use for your business. Should you settle for a SaaS product or hire a team of developers to build all your software you should use for your company? Should you host your company software with a PaaS company, or should these ones are kind of technical, so you may not know. But then the simplest answer is that it depends on the size, goal, available resources, and business model. For example, if you're a small or medium-sized business, it will be best to leverage the 250,000 existing SaaS products for your business activities. With this, you can focus on your business offerings and whatever. Now, there's nothing spectacular. Again, like the whole key message is the sentences are complete. The example, like each sentence is even coming with example. Practically, like the entire article itself is more filled with examples. That is what a real article does. That's what a real article look like a proper article, like original article. That is what they look like. And trust me, everybody knows what a proper article look like. Your what choice? I already tried to, I don't know how we explain this. Yeah, this is another approach, and it's just again trying to be different from kind of other blogs that has been published. Out of cases recently surveyed, firstly to know the percentage of, would I be reading an article out like this? One major positive Nigerian entrepreneurs undergo when moving into business online. Moving their business online, deciding which type of SEO is best for them. Should they employ local SEO or global SEO? Many aren't aware if there's any particular classification for local or global SEO classification. This is a tautology, but it should be corrected. Out of curiosity, I recently surveyed to firstly know the percentage of Nigerian businesses with websites or online presence. Secondly, identify the number of businesses driving traffic to their website. Thirdly, understand the number of Nigerian businesses that actually do search engine marketing for their business. And lastly, those whose essay is tailored to the environment where they carry out their activity. I am yet to complete the survey for the first 3 items on the list. However, suppose you're a big fan of spoiler. In that case, 80% of businesses in Nigeria don't actually have a website, even though quite a good number have an online presence, primarily on social media. And for businesses with a website, 7% aren't actively working on their website performance already. This is a kind of a different approach too. Like, it is not conventional, usual, straight way that everybody writes. So you can do that. This thing is not for insight, okay? It is more for you guys. Of course, we are concerned. Trust me, we actually really, really concerned. So because we are concerned, we will be enforcing it. But in your individual, or if you have to work with the client, you can actually know that for you. Now, when I was trying to talk about word choice, this is a kind of a choice that I deliberately make, even when I was getting myself, I knew that I just wanted to use this particular word choice. I've already talked about positive expression, negative expressions, and this thing is kind of a comic boring, even to me. It will be best to leverage the 250,000 existing SaaS products for your business activities. Now, I deliberately use the word the 250,000. because like I wanted to know how many SaaS product we have there, like how many SaaS companies do we have, and it is almost like 250,000. So rather than me saying using the number specifically, I decided to go for this choice. My audience will understand it better. They will feel engaged, like they will feel fit in. And if they want, they may make further research, kind of. But I don't know how I'm going to make justification. But again, like these things are kind of normal writing. Now, let's go to the real one. Keyword research and using your keyword guide. On a norm, we recently realized that many of the keywords that we actually give you are not proper keywords. Like many of the keywords are not correct. Maybe that's why you're having trouble using them. Like some of them are not actually keywords. Nobody's searching for some of them. Like again, like this problem has actually been fixed. Like some of the keywords are not proper keywords. Like they are not keywords because to my knowledge, or to the best of my knowledge, when I read article and I have a keyword that I'm actually really working on, I'm even trying my best not to overuse the keyword. So if you have a problem using keyword 8 times in a post, my only guess like that keyword itself is not correct. Because like the keyword is what you are writing on. So you will never have issue. For example, in the case of this article, the keyword is subdomain and subdirectory. There is no way you will have problem because each sentence she needs to make mention of it. In fact, she will need to be cautious, like I don't want to use it. When it comes to the subdirectories, like because she's comparing the two, like there's no way, like I don't know what topic that I can be working on. I've never had, like I always hear it from people that they have difficulty using keywords. As I said earlier, the only reason why you may ever have that kind of issue is because you are actually not given a proper keyword. So in that case, you may actually need to check with your editor. There are a couple of videos that actually cover that part, and we will actually share it for you, but it's not going to be compulsory unlike the case of this. So if you're interested, you can request for it and it will be sent to your DM. Don't DM me, DM either your editor or Alimat. But anyway, you can actually message me, kind of. But then the point is like when you the whole thing that is here, do you really want to rank? It's not connected to everything that I've talked about. And if I can break it down, this is how I can break it down. When you are doing your research and you realize that everybody's following the same approach and you really want to learn for the content, for the topic, then you need to ask yourself, what different approach can I take? Should I write like I'm writing a letter, or like I'm writing a prose, or I want to take a approach of a listicle, or I want to create a kind of justification, differentiation, and the like. And secondly, when you start writing, your sentence length should be correct. Like should be short as possible. And at the same time, if you need to occasionally create long sentences, you should be able to connect to the key problem that you're addressing. And you have to actually communicate your message, like communicate a proper message, not like writing an article that you'll be confusing people. And then comprehensiveness is actually still connected to you communicating your message. Something else that I was trying to think about is like when they give you an article that actually require a 2,000 words article, you should not compromise on the quality of the post by writing 1,000 words. Request for an additional time from your editor. If you're not the kind of person that like writing long posts, there were times that I actually hate writing long articles. I hate writing too short articles. I hate article of 500 words. I don't like writing anything less than 1,000 words, and I don't want to write anything more than 2,000 words. But recently, I kind of enjoy writing 2,000 words, 3,000 words. But I don't like writing anything more than that on a norm. But occasionally, I kind of fit in. So far, I can really provide information. So the point is like when you are giving your topic and you realize that you cannot do justice with that particular word count, please report back to your editor that, oh, I think this thing we actually require to be more elaborative. If they are giving you too much word count for something that should be short, communicate with them. Now, this is going to create a kind of a problem. So you need to actually be really careful. They are not foolish people, okay? So they will most likely know what is right. But then if you feel contrary, you may actually share your idea. Now, this is something that there are a couple of people that they can actually really celebrate, that they are conscious of how their post is published. Not that you go and stress the hell out of the editor, please, even myself, I'll not take it. But you can actually you should actually understand the fact that this piece is your piece. I use my byline on Instead of NG a lot because I am not writing an article for Nigerian standard. I'm writing the article the same way I write almost all my pieces. There's not a single difference. Okay, if there's any difference, maybe because I feel like I'm conscious of my audience, like, oh, I may feel like my audience may not be familiar with this kind of a word. And then why my other audience, maybe in the US or any other place, may know that expression. Like some expressions are more connected. Okay, but other than that, I don't make a difference. Like I don't compromise. Okay, like this is the more of the standard way people write comparative pieces and the like this is more because of the article. I have not actually even completed the survey basically even till moment. So you should, and there are articles that you can actually follow up with. If you are the one that wrote article on business plan, you may choose to write your certificate article on maybe another kind of business plan, maybe how to write post business plan, how to write family business plan. If the topic is not already in the post, in the topic section, tell your editor that, oh, I would like to get on this particular topic. If we've already covered it, your editor will let you know. If you've not covered it, your editor will not let you know. Will tell you rather. Now, this is another addition. We are trying to actually make it convenient for you to be able to use keywords and even reduce the number to something maybe a little bit one or two. But then before one can say you are reducing keywords, then we need to be sure that you can actually really write a good content. Because on a norm, when you're writing good piece, you will not have a problem using your keywords at all. Except again, the keyword is not a proper keyword. And I am the one coming out to confess to you that many of the keywords that we've been giving you before are not proper keywords. They are just out of the air keywords that you are forcing yourself to wrap article around. So that and that. Now, a whole summary of the whole thing. Your editors will be requesting for revision if your article does not meet up with the standard. So you have to be deliberate if you really enjoy writing and you want to write. You need your byline for something that someone like me uses his byline, someone like me uses his byline for. So that way, even yourself, you'll be more concerned about the quality of the post than your editor. Maybe I should recap. If you really need a byline, you'll be more concerned about the quality than your editor, than us. And when you are not very concerned, we are equally concerned because we are investing resources and our readers are coming and our readers obviously know your name because your name is there, but they know insight.ng too. So they may begin to associate us to like we are creating not good content. So thanks a lot for staying